Hello, everybody. Today we are talking about skill trees. Each profession in the Witcher TRPG has a profession skill tree which offers many variations on the core profession. Each tree has three paths that represent different approaches to that profession. The very bottom is the starting ability for the profession. As you proceed through the game, you can use improvement points to travel down any of these paths or venture down all of them a bit. When you have 5 points in an ability, you could use the next ability in that profession path at a value of 0. Gaining points for each new ability works the same as getting points in any other new skill. You can go from your core skill down any one of the three paths, but it must be along the path. For example, core skill to A1, B1, or C1. You cannot hop from one path to another. So if you have points in A3 and want to go to B3, you must work your way all the way up to profession path B. This allows you to play multiple variations of the same profession and gives you a lot of useful perks to pursue. So, defining skill has to be rank 5 to use A1, B1, and C1. To get to A2, you need 5 points in A1. To get to A3, you need 5 points in A2, etc. 3 merchants. Very rarely do two people do the same job exactly the same way. This is especially so when it comes to loosely described professions in the Witcher tabletop RPG. A profession skill tree outlines 3 variants on its core skills so you can customize what abilities your character learns based on how they come at their profession. Take merchants, for example. One player may choose to play a broker. They'll be focusing on the acquisition of items, and having them in a party will mean the party never goes without gear, ammunition, or components. Another player may choose to play contact, and they'll form a web of connections and informants around the continent. Within your party, it will never be hard to get information or uncover secrets. A third player may choose to play a Havakir, using their skills to enhance their influence and gather a group of criminals and deadly mercenaries around them. In a party, they could be a key to navigating the seedy underbelly of any city. You could even choose to dabble in each path, creating a jack of all trades who's pretty able in all situations, but not as specialized. So from there, we'll go into Bard, the skill tree. They have the Charmer, the Informant, and the Manipulator. Raise a crowd. When raising a crowd in a large area full of people, a DC 15 is sufficient to create a crowd around the bard dense enough to require a DC 15 physique or athletics check to pass through. Also, keep in mind that enemies and non-sentient creatures gain a plus 10 to resist. So this is good friend, value, and cost. To get a good friend in a hamlet, it costs 3. Town, 4. City, 5. Capital, 10. Profession, 3. For commoner, innkeep is 5. Artisan is 6. Guard, 8. Noble at 10. Importance, low to average, 5. High, 10. So this charmer is return act with imp tied to it. Raise a crowd, imp. Good friend, imp. So the cost is you need once per. I'm not going to read these. You could pause the video and read these yourself. The informant has fade, spread the word, and acclimatize. The manipulator has poison the well, needling, et tu brute. So acclimatize, their disease is 25, 20, 15, and 10. Craftsman skill tree. Their Defining skill is patch job. Too many patches. A weapon, shield, or armor which has already been patched once can only be patched again one more time. This patch only brings it up to 1/4 the SP or reliability. Run it down. Augmentation. Weapons reinforced, serration, lighten, or +2 reliability, 25% chance bleeding, or 1+ accuracy. DCs 14, 16, 18. Armors reinforced for more SP, camouflage for more stealth, or studded. +2 damage to grapplers. 14, 16, 18. Silver coating requires 2 ingots of silver for one-handed weapons, 4 ingots of silver for two-handed weapons, and 1 ingot of silver for up to 10 arrows or crossbow bolts. So there's errata for silver coating. Instead of adding damage, you just make a weapon have the silver trait, which means that it's less OP. But I think it's a little better. So, the Forge Master has extensive catalog, journeyman, and master crafting. The Alchemist has mental pharmacy, double dose, and adaptation. The Improviser has augmentation, silver coating, and pinpoint. Now, if anyone's wondering, I'm saying that there's a silver trait with the latest Sage's advice from Cody Pondsmith on the Artel Saurian Discord. If you don't believe me, you can go check. I don't have a link. Go look up yourself. Criminal skill tree. Their practice paranoia defining skill. The thief, case the area. Here's the DCs. Mental key and go to ground. There's these things here. The gang boss, weak spot, marked man, and rally. The assassin, careful aim, eye gouge, and assassin's strike. And here's their modifiers for that perk. Doctor skill tree, healing hands, healing criticals. More specific information about healing critical wounds can be found on this page, 173. And there are 3 skill tree paths. The surgeon, with diagnose, analysis, and effective surgery. The herbalist, with healing tent, improvisation, and herbal remedy, with this little table here. I'm not going to read these out. These are honestly, if the game could literally just have something better than what they have currently for alchemy, that would be great. So, vitriol and rebus, Quibith and soul, ether and callum, fulgur and vermilion, hydragonum and rebus, ether and vitriol, vermilion and quibith, fulgur and soul, callum and hydragonum, vermilion and soul. So, and their DCs are listed here. Remember, you have to beat this number to succeed in making it. The Autonomist, bleeding wound, practical carnage, and crippling wound. And the maid skill tree. The politician, the scientist, and the archmage. Scheming, grapevine, and assets. And this is the assets table. The Scientist, reverse engineer, distillation, and mutate. Archmage, in touch, immutable, and expanded magic. Relationship, this is also tied to assets. Relationship to an asset establishes how willing to help you they are. Enthralled assets will help you with absolutely anything. Romanced assets will help you with almost anything as long as you reaffirm your romance. Friendly assets must be convinced to stick their necks out for you. Indebted assets will only do one thing for you. Blackmailed assets will only do anything for you, but there's a 50% chance that they will betray you. That is something the GM can absolutely do. As a 50% chance to backstab you in the back. As well, why would a blackmailed person do something willingly without wanting to stab you? Human nature. As well as mutation limit. An individual can only be mutated twice. Further mutations will replace existing ones. And mutate is something you can do to any subject. Though, are they willing or not? Probably not. Man-at-Arms skill tree. Tough as nails is their defining skill. The Marksman, the Bounty Hunter, and the Reaver. Extreme range, twin shot, and pinpoint aim. Extreme range DCs, just as that, half again the range, double the range. Bloodhound, Booby Trap, and Tactical Awareness. Booby Trap. Snaring, disarming, blinding, tripping, bleeding, stunning. Fury, the Reaver. Fury, Zweihander, and Shrug It Off. Blocking Twin Shot. Twin Shot can't be dodged with one action and can't be blocked as one action by a shield. Parrying a Twin Shot has a -6 penalty rather than a -3. Merchant skill. The Broker, the Contact, the Havakar. Warrior. This is for Warrior's Debt. Attack and defense, 10, 14, 16. Their cost. Intelligence 3, 5, and 9. Weapons and armor. SB 3. A dagger and a hatch crossbow and 10 bolts. SB 5 with 30 arrows. Full plate and Torare. Settlements, value, well connected, and rookery. Thorpe, small city, capital. Broker, skill, options, hard bargain, and promise. Contact, rookery, insider, treasure map. They have a care, well connected, fence, warrior's debt. Pre-skill tree. Now, unlike the skill tree I showed for the Tome of Chaos Priest, this one is different. The Preacher, the Druid, and the Fanatic. You get the Druid as part of the skill tree for the Priest within the core book. If you want to play separate from the Priest and the Druid, you go to Tome of Chaos. These are two different characters within Tome of Chaos and the core book. Initiate of Gods, defining skill. The Preacher, which gives you more vigor. The Druid, more vigor. The Fanatic, different. The Preacher, the Druid, the Fanatic. Divine Power, which gives you more vigor. And also stacks of Nature Attunement, which means you get a lot of vigor. Which I think is dumb, because that makes them better than mages. The Fanatic. So, Again, divine power, divine authority, precognition, nature attunement, read nature, animal compact, blood rituals, fervor, word of God. Animal compact, you can, as long as you roll the animal compact skill, you can order them to attack, defend a target, ride them, fetch an object or a target, stop, keep lookout, guard an area, go to a known location, don't touch, retreat. Compact DC. Cat 12, dog 10, bird 14, serpent 16, horse 14, warhorse 7. Essentially, the max DC is 17, so you just have to beat an 18 to get any one of these. Apostles. Anytime you give a truly strange or uncharacteristic command to your apostles, you must make a Word of God roll at a DC set by the GM. You can fail 3 times before your apostles leave you. If your last failure is a fumble, your apostles will attack you or brand you as a heretic. So that's if you choose to go the fanatic route. And the compacts are part of this if you choose to go druid. Witcher skill tree. The spell sword, the mutant, and the slayer. And these are transmutation if you go with this. So you get these perks here for transmutation. You could parry bombs as long as you have the parry arrows perk. Bombs, another area of effect, attacks detonate after the parry resolve. If the second target dodges the attack, roll on the scatter table to see where the attack lands. That's a specific rule later down in line that we'll cover. Spell sword, meditation, magical source, you increase your vigor, heliotrope literally is the ability to say no. Let's say in Magic Gathering terms, that is it's literally cancel or something of the sort. You spend half the stamina to cancel a spell that's targeting you. Or just an invocation, just say no. A hex, no. If you want to be a witcher and be able to cancel spells, go to get heliotrope. The mutant, iron stomach, frenzy, transmutation. The slayer, parry arrows, quick strike, and whirl. And that is it for this. I hope you enjoyed your stay. We covered the skill trees for Witcher characters, and next time we will cover stats and skills. I'm sorry I could have done this before, but you know, I wanted to do some more yapping. So, thank you and enjoy.